There once was a boy named Willy Duitt. He was a cousin to Willy It, the boy I told you about before. Now, Willy Duitt was a boy with his own ideas about what should be done, and when his mother said to him, "Willy, clean your room," he would reply, "Just a minute, Mom, I'm at level 5 of this Xbox game, and if I quit now, I'll have to start over." All the time, his eyes would be staring at the screen, and his fingers would be flying over the controls. He was much too busy to clean his room, and his mother should understand that. His mother walked away, shaking her head. "Where are your priorities?" she complained. But Willy kept on playing his game, and he never did clean his room. It was about mid-afternoon when his mother noticed Willy was off the computer, but his games and equipment were scattered all over the living room floor. "Please pick up your stuff," his mother pleaded. But Willy said, "Not right now, Mom. I've been watching this movie for almost 2 hours, and I've got to see if Buddy makes it back in time for the basketball game. It'll be over in 10 minutes, and then I'll clean up." "Where are your priorities?" his mother sighed. But Willy kept staring at the TV screen until his eyes turned red, and he never did clean up. After supper, his mother wanted him to help with the dishes. "Not right now, Mom," Willy said. "I promised Joey I'd go skateboarding with him. He's waiting for me. Bye!" And he dashed out the door like a racing car on 2 wheels and was gone before his mother could say, "Stop!" "Where are your priorities?" she said under her breath, and to no one in particular. Then she did the dishes by herself. The next morning, Willy got up and went out to the kitchen for breakfast. There was no food on the table. His mother was nowhere in sight. He searched in the living room. He searched in the bathroom. He went outside and looked in the yard. No mother. Then he went upstairs and looked in her bedroom. There she was, still in bed. She was dressed in her white pajamas with the big roses on them, and her eyes were covered by a very funny-looking pair of glasses. She hadn't bathed. She hadn't brushed her teeth. She was just lying there, reading a book. "You're supposed to be feeding me breakfast," Willy whined. "I just want to finish this chapter," his mother said, and held the book in such a way that Willy could not see her face. "Where are your priorities?" Willy complained, to no avail. He went to school without his breakfast. Willy was really hungry when he walked home for lunch. He went to the kitchen, but his mother wasn't there. He looked in the bedroom first, but the bed was now empty. He looked in the living room. He looked in the bathroom. He looked outside. There was his mother sitting in the hot tub. She had on an ugly pink and purple polka dot bikini. Her legs were up on the side of the hot tub, and she was painting her toenails green. "You're supposed to be feeding me lunch," Willy yelled. But his mother said, "I can't possibly move now. My toenails aren't dry, and the color will disappear if I put my foot in the hot tub. I guess I'm just stuck here." "Where are your priorities?" Willy yelled, but his mother just sighed and put her head under the water. Now, a smart boy would have made his own lunch at this point. But Willy wasn't a smart boy. And he was also very mad and stubborn, so he went to school, his stomach rumbling all the way. Willy had soccer practice after school, which made him even hungrier. His stomach felt like 1,000 needles were sticking into it. He walked home partially bent over and dragging his feet, and he was thinking to himself, "Please, please, let Mother be in the kitchen." But no, Mother was not there. And the table was not even set. He looked in the backyard, but she wasn't in the tub. He looked upstairs, but she wasn't in bed. He looked in the living room and the bathroom, but she wasn't there. Where could she possibly be? Finally, he looked in the sewing room. His mother hadn't gone in there for years, but there she was, knitting an afghan. "Mom," Willy pleaded in a voice of sheer desperation, "you're supposed to be making my supper." "Oh, I've been meaning to get to this afghan for months," the mother explained. "I just need to finish a few more rows." "Where are your priorities?" Willy moaned, but his mother just kept on knitting and whistling the theme song from another world. If you don't go down right now and make my supper, I'm going to hold my breath until I turn blue, Willy threatened. That's nice, his mother said in a dreamy voice, as if she hadn't heard what he said. Well, what else could Willy do? He started holding his breath. Now, never in the history of the world has this child ever successfully held their breath until they turned blue. But Willy was a very talented boy in the breath-holding category, and as mentioned before, he was very, very stubborn. He held his breath for 1 minute. He held his breath for 2 minutes. He held his breath for 3 minutes. He held his breath for 4 minutes. His face went blue. His face went purple. His face went gray. And he finally killed over and died. When he woke up in eternity, Willy thought to himself, at least I get to go to heaven. I don't think you have to work there, and there's no mothers telling you what to do. But suddenly he heard the voice of God. And what do you suppose God was saying? He was saying, where were your priorities? Did you put me first? Did you put others' needs before your own? Well, when Willy woke up from that dream, he found he was in the hospital. His mother was standing over his bed. She looked very worried, and he could see love in her eyes. He decided right then and there that if he ever got home again, the first thing he would do would be to clean his room.